Well, it's all music, isn't it? I mean, the way one cooks bread, prepares dishes that we eat, can be something that causes the senses to create that which we color by calling emotion. As opposed to written music per se, music of the hierarchy, Western tradition, which a man like Stravinsky might be considered a god there, is that we do not find it necessary to look at the note which is a symbol of musical sound. The problem with written music is that it divides the energies of creativity. In other words, while my mind may be divided looking at a note, my mind is instead involved with hearing that note, playing that note, combining the action, making one thing of an action. Hearing is playing. Music does not exist on paper. I don't separate musics. I feel that one must absorb them. Daniel. Absorb. Digest them, eat them. Yes, use is whatever one chooses to do with it. How can one compose without recognizing and being of a tradition? All music that I've heard has is out of tradition. Well, people are everywhere, but that's not generally accepted because the statement seems to imply that the same conditions would exist. But there are people and there are people.
In that case, what do you think of musicians such as Stockhausen?
He doesn't come from my community.
What do you think of Johann Sebastian Bach?
He doesn't come from my community either.
What do you think of John Cage?
He doesn't come from my community. One of those people might live in New York. We don't have the same tastes. We don't read the same books. We don't eat the same food. We don't dance the same dances. My community, as I said before, is usually on the other side of the tracks. We have to make distinctions. The interesting thing that happens is that although we may live in the same time or in the same place, we are not accorded the means that people who are existing at the same time are accorded. This is true certainly on an economic level. It is true in terms of education, and it is most assuredly true socially. Now, whatever I choose to take, or use or just am attracted to. The reality is that a separation exists, and that's all I'm talking about. Those people called Negro or Afro-American, we have had a very peculiar situation in which to work out of. I mean, we are the invisible men, and art feeds and nourishes the psyche, and it is essentially quite independent in its final form of negation. Improvisation is one thing, and other things are other things, obviously. Improvisation means a particular thing, as opposed to like set form. You know, form meaning like the skin, perhaps, that covers your body. He did not imply that during an improvisation he would play the same thing. He merely stated that recognizing a motif, he would do perhaps the same thing. A motif. In this particular piece, there were several motifs, you know. Several motifs being the same one played different ways. But of course, even this piece had, you know, several parts in its beginning, and that was just the beginning of it. The point is, you have to understand this music in terms of the traditional jazz that you've heard before, which might be a guide for you. The musical endeavor, of course, is an attempt to embody all that one has learned, experienced, that is positive, you see. In other words, one is going about trying to become bigger, larger, better, because one is concerned with creating. I don't divorce theories from doing. You know, if I stated that improvisation meant one thing out there on the steps, it means that when I play, it means the same thing. You know, so therefore I don't see why it's necessary for me to repeat that. I said that improvisation was thought informed by passion and conditioned by knowledge. Next question, please.